Wieliczka, the beginning of the deep shaft mining was in 1280s. This is when local people discovered rock salt, and the end of mining in 1996. On the first level, the oldest part of the tour is from 1640s. And this is the transportation system prepared for carts, cranes, carriages like this one. The nickname of such device, that's Hungarian dog. So the device was invented in the area of Maramuresh, and the dog, that was the nickname because of the sound the device made, like this. So if you feel like, I want to try this wall, go ahead. Because here we have grey salt for tasting, sometimes white salt, and crystals. Only 45 types of bacteria able to live on salt. So 45, that's less than on any other natural surface, right? So I think it's okay to taste wall salt. Copernicus was born in 1473, and the statue was carved in 1973. I know, it looks like the date when he died, but this is when the miner carved the monument. I want to tell you the legend about Hungarian princess Kinga. Over 700 years ago, Kinga, the daughter of King Bela IV, she was engaged to marry Polish Prince Bolesław the Bashful from Kraków. As the wedding gift, her father gave her salt mine in Hungary. That was a great wedding gift, however, located in Hungary, while she was going to live in Poland. So Kinga threw her engagement ring down to the salt mine over there. That was the symbol that she took that place into her possession. And then she came to Poland to marry this prince.
So why did the miners carve art?
The first horse was transported underground at the beginning of the 17th century, and the last horse left in March 2002. So we have a model of the stable just for 2 horses in the presentation, but just imagine that usually underground we got about 60 to 80 horses. There was a wooden drum with 4 arms, so 4 horses, they were walking around the device. In the corner there is a transportation shaft with 2 wooden ropes. There is a first rope down there with wood. Second rope with block of salt. So now block of salt is going down and wood is going up. And the horses were transported into this mine like blocks of salt, attached to the ropes in the transportation shaft. 6,000 years ago, they were boiling brine inside clay utensils on fires. So water was evaporating, salt was settling on the bottom, and they were using salt for preserving food, healing wounds, and Roman soldiers firstly paid in salt. They called it salarium. English word salary is from the Latin salarium. You can do it together, correct? So take a look. In the corner, the barrel is going down, and there is second rope with the counterbalance coming up. Do you see that counterbalance in the corner? Now the other way, but another group of 4. Now counterbalance is going down, and the barrel up in here. Oh, by the way, children, they have never worked in the salt mine until now for the presentation. Okay? Now we have a shorter version of a tour for school groups, for small children. It's about legends, fairy tales, that kind of stories. That's why 3 dwarfs in this chamber with wooden staircase, and here we have 7 dwarfs from the story, from the fairy tale. Well, we don't have Snow White in the presentation, but if you count the dwarfs, we have how many? Have you counted them? That's right, 8. So there is one more in the middle of the chamber. He is sitting on the throne because this is the ghost of the mine, the treasurer, the spirit of this place. St. Kinga is the world's largest underground cathedral, so everything here is made of salt, and at this moment the chapel is still active place with the services every Sunday morning at 7:30 with concerts and weddings. Slaughter of innocents, and above nativity scene where is figure of baby made of pink form of salt with iron. On your right hand side is a little chapel dedicated to Our Lady and a child with statue God the Father. Then Escape to Egypt, the relief carved in 1927. The altar of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Jesus in the temple, the last relief on the right wall, which was carved in 1928. On the right side there is a copy of the Wawel castle on the hill, and the central part of the main altar is dedicated to Saint Kinga, our patroness, Hungarian princess. Kinga, the statue of Kinga was carved in 1914 because initially he was an oil painting. Behind the statue of Kinga, cubics of a pure salt. On the right side of the altar, Saint Clemens, on the left, Saint Joseph. On the left side, Christ crucified, kneeling and praying monks. Miracle in Cana of Galilee, then the altar of the Sacred Heart of Maria, and the Last Supper. When you look at the Last Supper from the distance, it's so deep, so dimensional, while the depth, that's about 16-17 centimeters only. The Last Supper was carved in 1935. Then the Chapel of Resurrection, Doubting Thomas, and Miner holding a torch. The chapel, the decorations, they were finished in 1963. Water is fully saturated like Dead Sea, so that's 32% of salt in this water. So if you have your lucky coin, this is the best place to throw it and make a wish. There are hundreds, thousands of coins on the bottom of this lake. We are walking, and the walking distance, that's about 2 kilometers, while the total length of the passages in the entire place, that's 240 kilometers of corridor. So that we have in this chamber. Columns made of salt in the corner, a wall made of salt bricks, roof bolts which were drilled into the walls and the ceiling, and the largest wooden construction in the tour, the highest one, 36 meters. Commercial part of the salt mine you can easily recognize because places they have wooden floor. It's for parties, concerts, receptions. We've got even dancing competitions and football matches in the salt mine.
No, it's nog steeds kwijt.
100 years ago, in this chamber was a boat, the regular part of the tour. Also the lake was much deeper. Unfortunately, here was an accident in 1915 when the group of the soldiers probably overloaded the boat because in the middle of the lake the boat collapsed. So in the result they suffocated. The chamber was closed for many years, and at this moment the lower part of the lake was filled with the salt, so now it has only 1 meter. And there is a new boat, a smaller one, in the second chamber, but now it's just a decor, so we don't use it anymore.
Awesome. Is hij stil? Ja? Wow, wacht, dat zijn 3 verdiepingen? 4? Ja.
Zoveel mensen kunnen er één keer. Dat is zo het eentje nog, want er gaan er meer mensen in.
Maar aan de...
Het is net een reus.
Zo.
Idziemy, teraz liczymy do 50 i będziemy już na miejscu.
Naar achter mij.
Hoi.
Dit vind ik nog gaaf. Ik niet.
7, 8,
Dit zijn wel van die dingen die ik al willen meemaken.
Nu gaat het stuk.
12, 13, ale pędzimy, zobacz.
Wow.
Tu jest na wielu szybkach.
Je moet echt verklaren.
Wat echt snel?
Ja, je moet dat verklaren.
Ja, dan af te klaren. Ja.
Po prostu jak rakieta lecimy do góry. Ale byliśmy głęboko.
Snel, hè?
En dat hebben we dus. Waarom kon we dat niet doen?
Ja.
Jest mama! Cześć mamo!
Dan bovenlopen.
Idziemy, zaraz wysiądziemy.
Moeten we naar beneden
Nee,
nou?
ook met dezelfde lift.
Ha! O, tu cieplej.
Die kant.
Ah, waar kunnen we zitten? Om naar binnen open. Wedden?
Naar binnen open? Oh jee. Ja, komt ie, komt ie. Oh, mijn voet. Mijn voet. Zeg maar. Dziękujemy.